What's up? It's the Millennial Therapist, your favorite therapist. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like and click that bell so that you can get notified every time I upload. So let's hop into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so when do you seek therapy? And I guess this is the same question that you should ask yourself about, like, when do you usually seek help? Not everybody may need to seek a therapist. Some people may have a good support system. Perhaps they have family and friends that they can rely on. And through talking with family and friends, they feel supported and they feel strong and resilient again. However, some people may not have that and they need help and support building that up. And this can happen while in therapy. People who see a therapist are more resilient to overcome life stressors. So it's important that when to seek a therapist is usually right after some big major transition in your life, or when you're having difficulties managing those strong negative emotions like depression and anxiety, or even suicidal thoughts. The initial time, it's important to seek therapy in that moment. What therapy really does is gives you this space so that you can process a major transition, perhaps maybe managing difficult emotions, perhaps maybe if you experience. People just benefit from therapy by being able to have this non-judgmental space that they can process emotions that they may feel uncomfortable with sharing with maybe a family member or friend. Therapy also helps provide you with self-confidence so that you'll be able to do the things that you are interested in doing, to explore things, to explore new things. Therapy gives you a new way of thinking. Perhaps the old way of thinking was not serving you, and maybe that's what led to your depression or your anxiety. However, with a therapist, you can develop new coping skills, ways to manage your emotions, ways to manage stress in your life so that you can thrive and just be the awesome person that you were destined to be. There's a lot of stress that an individual can encounter. And it's just only so much stress that we can kind of withstand on our own. So sometimes we just need to see a therapist to help us manage a new stressor that came in our life. Like, hey, we got a new dog and it's just causing havoc all over. So it's like a fifth child in the home now. You may need to get you a therapist, okay? You just may need to get a therapist to help manage all of that. Some symptoms to look out for when you should seek therapy is perhaps if you're crying all day, every day, you talk to your family and friends about the same things, you continue to seek reassurance from your family and friends, and their advice that they're giving you is not making you feel any better, it's not helping the situation, it's not fixing your problem. When you're feeling angry, sad, depressed, lonely, guilty, shameful, and you're just not feeling like yourself, seek therapy for sure. If you feel if this mood is lasting all day, every day then seek out a therapist, because what will start to happen is affect the way you function in other areas in your life, like at work. So maybe because of your feelings of sadness or anxiety, you start having trouble at work, you become more irritable, you're not getting tasks done at work, not completing projects at work. And then this also can spill over to your personal relationships in your everyday life. So perhaps you're not calling people back, or you're being more isolated to yourself and you're canceling a lot of events because of the way that you're feeling. If you're using alcohol, drugs, over-the-counter medications or prescription medications not as prescribed or more than prescribed, or using other people's prescription medication, therapy for sure. So oftentimes when someone is abusing drugs or alcohol, initially it may start with just to manage a mood that you don't like to experience. However, when you notice that you no longer can control your alcohol or drug use, you don't have any coping skills to resist those urges, then it would be a good time to seek therapy, to build connections, or are we ruining connections because of this? And if you're at the point that your alcohol or drug use is impacting your relationship with other people, it's impacting your work, it's impacting your finances. Another time to seek therapy is when you're feeling hopeless. So if you're feeling hopeless, feeling as if nothing will change, it won't get better, you lost something that's important to you. And this could be something simple as a job, because our job is a big part of our identity. So if you recently got fired, terminated, laid off from a job, then this would be a great time for you to seek some help to help identify some of your strengths and make you feel good about who you are so that you can feel resilient about this loss and continue on and find another job that perhaps is more fitting for you. Another time to reach out for therapy is when you lost a close loved one, a friend, a family member. I feel oftentimes in grief and loss that the initial stage is so difficult for people that they may not reach out initially. And they kind of get back into their daily routine, hoping that their life just kind of adjusts. The best time to seek therapy for sure. And talk about the loss of that relationship. Traumatic happens to you. When we experience a trauma can be something as a chronic illness, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, any situation that you felt helpless in, a situation that you witnessed something, perhaps domestic violence. Those situations are very traumatic and it changes the way that we think and perceive events. What happens kind of changes the way we used to perceive things as, right? So perhaps that you were violated while walking in your apartment building, or you were violated in a parking lot in any way, sexual, physical, emotional. Now the way that you perceive that space, the way that you perceive yourself, the way you perceive and has now all changed. And so what happens is oftentimes difficult time trusting themselves, they have a difficult time trusting others, and most importantly, they have a difficult time determining what is safe and what is not. This will be the best time to seek therapy right after the trauma has occurred so that you can recover as quickly as possible. Another time to seek therapy is when you're feeling really irritable and angry. If you don't know why you're just irritable all the time, you're just in a bad mood, you're angry, you're screaming at people, you're throwing and pushing things at people, and you're just not feeling like anything is bringing you pleasure or joy, and everything around you just feels like an obligation or just another task for you to do. If you have the feeling that life is meaningless and you feel that you don't have a purpose, and you have a hard time just kind of enjoying your day or just enjoying day-to-day tasks, and you feel that everything is blah, and you have a difficult time connecting with something that you enjoy or something that brings you passion, you can process those feelings of irritability and find out what is the core of your anger, as well as getting some coping skills to help manage your anger so that you can express yourself in a better way. You can also seek out family therapy, and that way the family therapist will work on the relationship within the family members as a unit so that the family can function healthy and coexist with all members being able to feel that they are accepted, loved, and cared. I hope that these tips really help you so you can know when to seek therapy and get that help and support that you need right away. From thriving relationships to thriving families to thriving individuals, honey, get you a therapist.
Go to therapist.com. Go to seekyouatherapist.com. Go to you need a therapist. You better go get one, refer one, send one out to one. I'm just saying, all those great things. Find your therapist. Like, get one. It's like such the in thing to do now.
Life is full of so many stressors, and it doesn't come with the main growth that you get. It's amazing. It's life-changing. I have a therapist. Why? Because I need one. And why are you so nosy? That's between me and stay mindful, be present, and stay humble. Okay? Until next time. If you're experiencing thoughts of hurting yourself, and if you are engaging in self-harm behaviors, if you're having passive thoughts about not wanting to get out of your bed or just wishing that you could go to sleep and not wake up, or even wishing that you emergency room and seek immediate help.